all right, good people. Welcome to another episode of Cheese Take. We are live. I got a special guest in the house, but before we even introduce her, first and foremost, always want to give honor to God.
For sure.
Without God, I don't have anything. Christy and I, we're not where we are without God. And like I said, I don't know what it is not to have God in my life. I know what it is to be outside the will of God for my life. I will tell you that.
Right.
But I don't know what it is to not have God in my life. So He is everything. He's first and foremost. Give Him all the glory, the honor, and the praise. You know what I mean? And so, with that being said, introducing the crew. Appreciate you, D Palmer in the house, Kingfish in the house, and last but not least, the guest of the honor, Mika Johnson. Y'all know Mika. She be commenting on the podcast. Welcome. Not just 2 cents, 2, 3, 5, 25
all
cents.
Night.
Oh, see, come on. Now you taking it a little bit too far.
She be putting you in your place, Chi. That's why I like it. Putting you in your place.
Put in my place. That's what we're doing. All right. I like that. So
before we start, I do want to say thank you guys for having me. I do want to also say that what you guys are doing is like super dope. I think it is definitely needed. Now, granted, some people may not want to hear it because it is the truth and it's raw, but hey, it's definitely needed. And if you're sensitive, it may not be for you, but if you 100, this is definitely for you. So appreciate you guys.
I totally agree.
Absolutely. Appreciate you. And
Welcome.
Know what? Thank you, Mika.
We appreciate you for stepping out on faith.
Yeah, and coming in and appreciate your support and everything. Listening and always commenting, keeping us on our toes.
Come on, man.
On our hands, our feet.
I'm gonna do that.
We appreciate what's about to happen too.
Definitely. Y'all might be ready to leave because y'all definitely got one up here. That's
what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we're here for.
I'm over here sitting in all confidence. I'm good.
Okay, that's good.
I'm good.
You're confident.
I don't know.
That's good. You gotta be confident about yourself. You have to be.
I think it's the fresh fade that got me.
It might grow a little bit after this session, but
we'll get mine tomorrow.
You might be bald headed by the time this conversation. It's all gone.
Yeah.
Man, so I love you guys, man. Hey, this has been a good energy as always. So if you're tuning in, you're tuning in live, you guys just buckle up. We just gonna have some fun tonight.
And that's why I tune in, because the vibe is always on point.
Yeah.
You guys, y'all welcome me. Y'all don't be like, oh my gosh, she is just talking too much. She commented too much. She just doing too much.
Just dope. that mean we saying something that you want to comment on.
Yeah, and that's the whole point.
You gotta understand, some people look forward to Tuesdays and Thursdays to get that break from reality, right?
Absolutely. So, and that's what I mean.
That's why I try to come in. That's why I try to come in back on everybody's stuff when I'm on, to interact, because you never know what a person going through, and this could be they home away from home. So that's why we do this, and we just be live and open and raw. So I'm just waiting on the topic. I'm ready to get started.
I'm ready too.
I ain't ready to play with it.
All right, so I
ain't ready to play with it.
So here's what happened.
He had all his confidence right now. Okay.
Let's get a recap, right? So
let's do a
recap. Tuesday we're talking about we played this video clip about a young lady who was she was a student at the time, and her professor had them sit around in a circle kind of thing. Like if you did one of them chemistry projects, y'all remember biology back in high school, when you sit around in a little group, and she told everybody in the classroom, she was like, look, if anybody get up, if you move, if you leave, I'm failing you for the whole semester. Like you're done. You're gonna fail the class. And so she put the desk in the middle of this little circle, and there was a goldfish. So the goldfish was outside the bowl of water. So everybody's, and then she left the classroom. So she took the goldfish out. I'm assuming it's on a little table right in front of the kids. And then she left after she said what she said. So all of them are watching this goldfish like flap up and down. Like the goldfish is dying essentially. And so everybody's like, what do I do? You know, it's a moral compass, right? Like you see something happening that's wrong. What do you do kind of thing? So that was the theme. And so one girl got up and was like, yo, forget this. I'm going to go ahead and put the goldfish back in. When she did that, the teacher came back in and was like, all of you guys compromise your values. You know what I'm saying? Just because you wanted to pass this class. And that kind of opened the door for us to talk about, you know, injustices and just different things that happen in society and stuff like that. Metaphorically, that goldfish represented something happening to somebody, and what a lot of us do, right? We kind of like either ignore it, go past it, don't really think about it. So that's what I started talking about. And then we kind of got off topic. We just started talking about just different things in society and how different views and different things, how we watch different things happen. And we started talking about, you know, genders, right? You know, men and women. So I started, you know, to just make a small gesture, you know, that, you know, I don't know how far it went, but it was a little gesture. And all I stated was, you know, I was like, look, you know, hey, a lot of women, you know, are not held accountable because we're talking about accountability, you know, and stuff like that. So, so when we were talking about the goldfish metaphor, I was like, look, a lot of women are not held accountable when they do the things they do. And then Mika was, you know, she was commenting on that statement, and she made some good points. She would. And so, you know, so we didn't get a chance to really dive in.
Wait a minute. D, I tried to stop him. I tried.
I don't know what he was on.
Yeah, bro, he was on last time, man. But you know what? I said, you know what?
So this is part 2.
I actually asked for part 2. To be honest,
she asked for part 2.
I did.
That's what we're about to get in.
So what's the real?
So the real question is, so the real comment. All right. So the part 1, we start talking about accountability. And then we start talking about, you know, the different genders, and we start talking about, you know, when it comes to society and different things, you know, and then we talk about, like, you know, accountability, that women are different than men, and I just feel like, right. So I'm just so my opinion was like, look, you know, if a guy, when a dude mess up, right, we get it from everybody, right, and there's no level of sympathy per se in our situation because we're held accountable all the way through. We dogs already. We're a dog, right? We get all labeled. But if a woman messes up, you know, will she get labeled for some stuff? Yeah. Will her girlfriend say, girl, you know, you wrong for that, this, that, and the other? Sure. But here's how the conversation changes, right? So the minute she acknowledges, no, girl, you know you wrong, you shouldn't have did this, you shouldn't have said this, then it goes into, well, what did he do? Right? Or what did he not do? Or what he could have done? Why did he cause you to do this? Or why did he, maybe you did this because of this, right? And all of that conversation usually happens. So I was like, yo, that's how I feel. I feel like that society, a lot of women repeat the cycle because nobody holds them accountable for a lot of things that they do. That's not every single female. But
women are emotional, like too emotional, right?
Right. I said women too emotional, but I mean that plays a part because
she knows exactly what you said because I bet she
exactly.
Wrote it down.
But it does play a part.
I know she wrote it down. She asked the question.
Of course, look,
she wrote it down.
She wrote it down, but it's real though, right? Because look, women are emotional.
She got cliff notes for the night.
Right. But we could create. But look, because women are emotional, right? We tend to make decisions, or we talk about the emotional part rather than the accountability part. And why with men, we don't get to do that, right? Because if we react a certain way, we get judged on our tone, how we say things, how we shouldn't say it a certain way, versus if a woman says, you know, even though she dogged out a dude or she did the worst thing in the world, there's a compassion level based on her tone, right? It's like, oh, well, you know, I understand, girl, you know, we'll get through this and this, that, and the other. Whereas a man, we don't get that, right? We don't get that level of compassion if we mess up because automatically we're supposed to be strong men and we're supposed to, be mighty and all this other stuff. So that's what I started with. That's what I ended with yesterday. So feel free to jump in if I'm wrong about it. No, Mika, you on the mic now. You were saying all this stuff in the comments. I
was waiting for you to start whining. That's what I was waiting for. You whining. So you get your 15 minutes of fame. Go ahead, Chi. Are you done?
I'm done. Bring it. I'm ready.
Okay, so let me just say
I'm sorry, Miss Mika, before you start, let me go ahead and light this incense because it's about to get lit. Get lit up in this one.
Oh, let me ask you this
area. I'm saying.
Let me
ask you this, Miss Rico. How do you feel about what she is saying as far as men versus women? Men are held to a whole nother different kind of level than a woman. She can breeze through because why she has emotions and feelings such as a man don't have any. So how do you feel about that?
Okay, I think men also have emotions. Okay, because some of y'all are babies. So y'all do have emotions because y'all whine a lot. You're like another child. Like, let's be real. You're like, do I need to change your diaper? Like, what is going on? Why are you whining so much? So
go ahead.
Hold on, let her go. Let her go.
No,
yeah.
Go ahead, DP. I'm gonna give you the floor. Go ahead.
No, you got it. No,
let me ask you this.
Go ahead,
you stated just now that a man, when he shows emotions or feelings, he's whining. He's whining.
Not necessarily that he's whining.
But that's what you just stated.
I'm saying in the instance when a man, so to speak, can't have his way.
So, but that's
so you taking a whole
right?
Okay, you taking a whole different turn. Okay.
So I'm saying when you guys can't have y'all way, then to me y'all become very whiny. Like like a 5-year-old, just kind of whiny.
It's a two-way street.
Women do too.
So they're going both ways.
Okay.
It's not a one. It's not
women
a one.
do too. Women do too.
Right.
And
so we're not gonna make this one-sided. Like we're not.
It depends on the woman. It depends on the woman and depends on the man.
All right, that's facts. Okay.
It depends on the woman and the man. For me,
on this one
I'm not very whiny. I can get emotional, but I can also not be emotional. It's so like what she was saying. If a man wants to do me wrong, I may get emotional for that moment because of what happened.
Right.
After that, my whole feelings towards you may be totally different. So my emotions are turned off now.
Oh, so I get it. You care about only your feelings and emotions, and you leave that man on the back burner. Even though if you messing with him or talking to him, his feelings and emotions does not matter because yours are held to a higher accountable.
They do matter.
Oh,
but
I see what this is.
It matters in an instance. So, for example, if you did something that you knew either you shouldn't have been doing, that was wrong. I mean, if you're an adult, nobody has to tell you that that's wrong. That's wrong. For example, if you married or got a significant other and you go and you cheat, how old are you?
Wrong.
How old are you? Oh, okay. So I don't want to hear.
Okay, but that goes both ways.
I did both ways, though. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. You didn't mean to? What you mean you didn't mean to?
Okay, but that goes to what I was saying, Mika, right? Because men, we're accustomed to that. Like we mess up, we're accustomed. We know it's gonna come from all different angles. We'll prepare ourselves for that.
The only thing, right? That's true.
What you're saying, right? Yeah, so what you're saying on that level is kind of like that's what we're talking about. We're not when a baby cries, right? You told me the crying analogy, right? Baby cries. We look at that expression from two different angles. You can look at it as a baby being hungry, right? Or something's wrong with this baby. Or the baby, there's just something emotionally going on, right? So when we look at the human standpoint of that, right? What I'm saying is, and that's what my whole argument was, that when it comes to a man, with that statement that you just made, a lot of women make that statement. If we cry about something, we're whining, right? There's something going on with us, right? But it's not the fact that, look, it's something deeper than that. Or we don't get questions asked like why, you know what I'm saying? Like you cheated or you did something wrong or whatever. Like the conversation don't get switched to, but why did this happen? You know, what was going on at this time or this, that, and the other, versus a female. Y'all get them kind of answers, right? Y'all get them kind of questions asked about it. Like, okay, well, girl, what happened? You know, why did he do? Okay, he did this, that, and the other. Okay, okay. This, y'all get a broken down explanation of some stuff, or get some stuff explained to you. But again, accountability wise, right? Mental health's a different standard, because as soon as you go through the emotional part, right? We go through our emotional part. You're right. We cry, we whine. The outcomes are two different things. Those are facts.
Those are facts. Now, they can be treated different from women. But again, to me, it depends on, for instance, if y'all in a relationship, that woman, if that's your or man, whichever one, let me get it right. You know, you can ask the other person, well, what led you to this? Like, what happened?
Right.
Now, if you just in the house and you just, I don't know, you moping around or you crying or whatever the case is, but you're not saying anything. I'm not the type of woman to be like, oh my gosh, she whining again or he crying again. I'm gonna ask you, but what's going on? Why are you looking down? Why are you crying? Like, what happened? I like to ask questions.
I mean, that's one out of a million, right?
Right. But that's not.
That's because you're a great communicator, right? And you care about the situation. Sometimes you care about a situation more than you care about yourself, right? So you want that situation. Exactly. So you want that situation done before y'all can move on. Yeah. Some people and some women don't think like you.
Right. And that's what the majority. Let's keep it 1,000, right?
Majority of
women. I'm just going with that. Majority of the women, because here's the deal. Even though me, Damon, you know what I'm saying, Fish, have not dated the same woman, we've all had similar experiences. So that tells me that it's not an individual thing. It's you know what I'm saying, it's a lot to do with the female. That's being straight up, right? And what you have around you. That's just being real. Like, men are just, you know, we don't always get a chance to express ourselves because we don't have the time. Because the minute something happens, that processing moment where you got to process this, whether it's good or bad, we have in our mind, we have to think about, you know, as a man, you're thinking about your wife or your girlfriend, your job, you know what I'm saying? You got like a million things going through, you know what I'm saying? And so you have to balance all that, then your emotions, because like you say, a lot of times I may have emotion about something that I didn't come out right away. I had to process it. So that might be a day or two and I'm still feeling it, right? But I don't get a chance, you know what I'm saying, to come in at that moment when it happened and be like, yo, this is what's going on. This, that, and the other. The process time is different for women. Y'all, if y'all feel something going through, you want it like, you want to answer. Now you express it. Now you coming out. Now, and if we don't answer and give you what you want right in that minute, then it's, oh, you don't care about emotions. Or you don't care about me and this, that, and the other.
Nope. I ain't gonna let you say that.
Not real? Okay.
Well, I'm gonna say it may be for some women. Now, if I ask you a question, if I see that you just look like you're going through something, and I ask you a question, you don't respond, or I'm not gonna say don't respond. If I ask you a question, at least respond.
Okay.
At least say not right now,
but watch this.
I'll talk. We can talk later, or something like that. Okay, cool. Right. But if I ask you don't say anything, I don't want to assume what's going on.
All right, I'm gonna tell you why we don't say nothing.
Fish, put your hand down.
Say nothing.
Fish,
put your hand down. Say, all right, Chris about to answer, but here's why I don't say. Here's why men don't. This is for all women to understand. This is why men don't say anything. Because number one, if we say something in the presence of that situation, how we feeling, two things might happen. It might come out wrong. It might come out wrong. It might be the wrong tone, or it might be actually the wrong thing being said. It may not even be the way I'm
at
thinking.
That present time,
it might be the
in
way
the
I'm
moment.
feeling. You know what I'm saying? It might be the way I'm feeling. And what happens is the minute I open my mouth, right, you're not thinking about all the stuff I just talked about, right? The minute I thought about it or the feeling I'm going through in that second, all you heard was the thing that I said. That's all you're going to hear. And then you shut down, because then after that, we talking about, oh, really? Oh, you're going to come at me this way. And then we all of a sudden, we turn it. And then here we go now. We got to comfort you because we didn't mean to say something in the moment because we was hurt.
How you feel, Chris? Talk to me. Come on now. Fill in right quick, Chris.
Hey, the boy.
You next, Mika. Fill in, Chris. How you feel about it?
Go ahead, Fish.
Shout out to Tony Merrick. I see you, sis. Cry out to my cousin Crystal. Yeah, I see y'all on here.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome.
You know.
Okay, so we on two different things. So, if we're just speaking about a man being emotional, or a man just going through something, don't want to talk, or whatever, you asking a question saying, "What's going on?" Okay. That man don't speak on that certain topic. He don't speak on that certain thing. A lot of times it's because of something that happened in the past and he's not able to express himself. He has possibly been with someone where he's actually been vulnerable, and that vulnerability was taken as he was weak.
Backfire.
He is never able. He's not able to be vulnerable again. Because a man, when he's dealing with emotions, which a man doesn't deal with emotional things a lot, when they finally are vulnerable to someone that they feel like they trust, and it comes back on them as if they weak, they gonna shut down. They're not going to open up again.
Facts. That's true.
That's just facts. That's facts. Now, on the other hand, women might be able to do that more often. They might be able. They'll shut down and then open back up. Shut down, then open back up. It just depends on that woman at that time and what the situation is. That's just a fact. So all men, and I'm putting all of us in this. All men have the ability to be vulnerable. Not all men do
it.
That's okay.
So
that's a fact.
If I open up, and you, we don't cuss on. I'm trying not to cuss.
Take the wheel, Jesus. Take the wheel.
If I open up and you take a dump on my feelings, then I'm not gonna open up again.
Right.
You would never know what's going on with me. And what I'm gonna end up doing is I'm gonna end up finding other outlets to be able to deal with that. That's when it comes down. We was talking about last time. That's when it come down to the game. That's when it come down to sports. That's when it come down to going somewhere, doing something. Not necessarily going out there and getting with somebody.
Right.
So don't get me wrong on that.
Right.
Because that's if you're in a relationship, that's out of line anyway.
Right.
But
period. I agree.
Because I feel like if you're gonna go out there and do that, you might as well leave the whole situation. That's just how I feel.
But if you feel the outlet, if you feel that's an outlet, it's far deeper than the situation because there's some other things going on, right?
Right. So that's why I am on it. You know what I mean? I was sitting back and letting everybody say what they say, because that's how I feel on it. But at the same time, I'm like this here. If men and women do not talk, it's gonna get worse than what it is right now.
Yep.
Because after a while, what that man or that woman in that relationship, if they're not talking, if they're not getting it out, if they're not saying what's going on, if they're not in a safe place, that right there in a relationship is supposed to be a safe space. If that space becomes a place where I can't trust you, or I can't be safe with you, or I can't be able to express myself, then that person gonna end up looking for somebody else.
Okay, I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, but look, I'm just going to say, you know, look, when it's all said and done, I mean, the reason why I think a lot of things happen between men and women nowadays is because I think chivalry is gone. I think with this new millennium style of processing things, I think a lot of women, they want old school values in a new school system, and that's not going to work. And I think, in my opinion, frankly, that, you know, what you're dealing with in society in totality is we're bringing something to the table where you have two people who compete with each other instead of complete each other. So you got women now who making more money than a man, and all of a sudden now she goes back to the old school, you know, socioeconomic way of life where the man was the breadwinner kind of thing, and she may be accustomed to that. Maybe she grew up in a household, had a father, an uncle, something where she's seen the male kind of the lead in the house, right? Now all of a sudden she's making more money than this dude, and that's causing problems, right? Because all of a sudden now the level of respect is a little different. All of a sudden now, you know, you can't say a lot of things you want to say or so forth and so on because why? A lot of women now. I'm just look, I'm putting it out, I'm just throwing it out there. Like, I'm throwing the bombs out there. Y'all respond.
I get it. So let me respond by saying this here. Everything you said was on point, right? Here's the other side of everything too. In today's world, more men are being feminine and more women are being masculine.
But
that's
why do you
why
think?
It's not working.
Okay, that's okay.
That's why it's not, everything is out of order, bro. It's
right,
out of order.
But it didn't just get if it's so it's out of order to a certain, it's out of whack to a certain degree, but in totality, it's because what goes back to what I'm saying, right? There's no accountability for certain things when it comes to certain females. Like, I love my women, I'm being real. Because you can say if you make a certain amount of money now in the house, you feel as if, you know what I'm saying, that you can say something that you want to say. You don't have to respect this dude. He can't tell you what you got to tell you. You can't do certain things. And all of a sudden, now there's conflict in the house because there's a dominant thing now because you make a certain amount. Look, when you make a certain amount of money, when you start making certain levels of money, it comes with you have to get a certain kind of attitude, a certain way you carry yourself, certain things you have to handle. And a lot of times, I'll be honest with you, a lot of people can't separate it. They don't understand that your job is your job, right, and it doesn't define who you are. And in fact, I find with a lot of, you know, not to say men, you know, we knew men had egos and stuff all the time. That's nothing new, right? And I'm not right, saying that they're right for that. What I'm saying is that two wrongs don't make a right. And it's harder because based on societal stuff, we accustomed women being more nurturing and more caring and all this other stuff. And now, I will tell you right now, most dudes is not going to be with a woman like that. You know what I'm saying? We clashing too much. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being real.
Man, look.
Look, y'all better bring it because I'm speaking.
I'm gonna speak this here. More money don't mean you get the disrespect. It don't mean disrespect.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? That's a man or female. It don't matter. Mm-hmm. Females been making more money than men's for a long time now.
But that's not what happened. But society has go through what you're saying. Society doesn't treat it that way.
Right. But here's the thing. It's always been a thing that the man was a breadwinner, right? That's
okay.
That's how.
But it goes back to the biblical aspect of things.
Right.
Because most of us are Christians, so let's just keep it from the Bible standpoint, right? When they say man is the head of household, that does not mean he's the head of you as an individual. But in society today, that's taken out of context, right? Because it's like, you know, women nowadays, you got my last name, or I'm not taking your last name anymore. I'm not, it's a power struggle that's happening. That's just real. Unless you've been, dealing with it's a power struggle. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not going to say certain things. And depending on the female and depending on the male, that's a problem. And society has accepted certain levels of stuff. Girl, you okay? You do what you do because you make enough money and you do this and you have this, girl.
D got something he want to say.
Yeah, he's moving and holding his arm. Come on
now. You know what it is, to be honest, and I don't even know who to pinpoint the woman or the man. It's unrealistic expectations. Sometimes women hold men to such high standards and have them hold that accountability that they don't even look at themselves and have that accountability in them.
Absolutely, that's facts.
I don't even know who to pinpoint in that. How you feel about that? Unrealistic expectations, Miss
Don't be quiet now.
That can go both ways because I do think some women hold a man, to these unrealistic expectations, and I think some men hold a woman to these unrealistic expectations.
Okay,
like
what do you mean by that?
That's facts.
Okay, what do you mean by that though? When you say we hold a woman to the unrealistic expectations, clarify that for me.
I would say just doing. There should be a certain kind of way, Okay. And it's like, well, I'm me. Like, don't you want me to just be me, like, and not be one kind of way or act a certain kind of way? I'm not saying act, crazy,
right,
not crazy or nothing like that. But
all right,
don't want me to act like a certain kind of way when I'm this way. As long as I'm not being disrespectful to you or embarrassing you, let me be me. And some men or women, they can't take somebody, period, just being 100.
But most people nowadays
don't want to hear about themselves.
Right. But most people are not 100, right? Because that's the societal expectation is when you meet somebody, it's not about what you're saying, Mika. It's not about getting to know me. I'm getting to know you. It's about what are you bringing to the table? Because that's the first thing conversation comes up, right? What are you bringing to the table? House, car, credit, debt. I mean, it's all the stuff that is not, essential to what's going to build in a relationship. Good credit will get you all the things that you need to get. You know what I'm saying? However, what happens in society now, and that's a fact, a lot of women are passed up on good dudes because they didn't have. They don't have. Right. They don't have this, or this. Right. Because
that's true.
But people's situation, right? A dude may not have something, doesn't mean he a bum. Doesn't mean
it doesn't.
He a scrub, right? And that's the thing. A lot of women know that. But when it comes to actually dating, right? When it we'll say it, but when it comes to the actuality of it, they do hold that, right? Because they want to, I don't want to, man, they got back. I don't know if I want to go ahead. I know he's a good dude, but I can't do this again. I done been with somebody who didn't have this. So I done did this before. So I don't know if I want to do this again, this, that, and other.
And that kind of goes to getting to know the person as well. Because like you said, he may not show you that he has all of these things. Right. But unless you get to know him, he could be rich. You understand what I'm saying? He could have money. Right. He could be wealthy. He could be well off. He could have that 800 credit score. Right. But he walking around with some, whatever kind of sneakers he got on, something comfortable, but you looking at him like, oh, he a bum. He could have a whole big old man somewhere.
Ms. Mika, may I ask you a question? Are your values and morals out of reach for a man?
I don't think
interesting.
So. I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. I honestly, I want you to.
Are they in a reasonable guideline? Reasonable.
Right. To me, it's reasonable.
Are they out of reach or Okay.
No, I'm not gonna say out of reach. I'm not gonna expect you to, as soon as I meet you, that you have an 800 credit score, or that you drive a Benz or a BMW, or that you live in this big old house and you got a job making $200,000 a year or more, or something like that.
Right.
No, I'm not. I'm not. Nope. I'm not gonna do that.
But would you date a guy if he lived in his mama house?
Hello, Ms. Mika, what you thinking for? What's taking you so long?
Chris, I can't see you, Fish. Where you at?
It depends. Now it depends because I don't know what happened to the point where he's at his mom's house. His mom could be sick and he moved in to take care of her.
Right.
Something could have happened where he was married at some point and old girl took everything. So now he got to move in with the mama. You know what I mean? It depends on the situation. Now, if you just living with your mama because you just don't want to pay no rent, you don't want to do nothing, that's something totally different.
Right. But here's the thing.
I feel like a lot of women, and I'm just not making this one-sided because men do the same thing. Look, I feel like a lot of women hold men to those certain standards that they can't live up to themselves.
That's true.
You ask a man to do all this and do all this, be committed, be this, be that. But on the turnaround, a woman can't do that same thing, but she's wanting that out that man that she's pursuing, but she's not giving that 100% that she wants out that man. So that's how relations start, one-sided, asking for much and not giving nothing.
So what you're saying essentially is there are a lot of people who are ready for a relationship, but they're not prepared for one. That's the problem. Right, they're ready for it, but they're not prepared for it. So when the time, because when you said, like meeting a guy who lives in his mom's house, like you said, it's going to take. You need to figure out the situation and what happened, right? Mm-hmm. But what they're saying is a lot of women won't even get that. There's someone who wouldn't even let that out the gate. Like if you don't have this or this, we don't even need to talk because the rule of thumb in society. This is what society's come down to. The rule of thumb is you have to have at least what I have.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which has zero value to anything. Because you, at the end of the day, I've never met somebody on a dying bed. I met somebody who's been married for 35 years, who's been with somebody for a long time. Somebody dying bed ever talk about the house they have, the car they have, or how much money in their bank account. Mm-hmm. None of that stuff matters in life, but we put so much value and stock into it.
Value on it, yeah.
Right, and none of it is biblical. A lot of people what are you basing that on? Right. Because Jesus himself washed the feet of the disciples. You know what I'm saying? Jesus walked with 12 priests. No, that's right. I'm sorry. He walked with 12 disciples. You see what I'm saying? But I'm saying right. So that's what people walk around with. They walk around like I gotta have you holier than thou. Because maybe you got yourself a certain way and you gonna miss your blessing. There's a lot of women and a lot of men because it's so crazy now. A lot of men, like Chris was saying, the role reversal is crazy. I've heard dudes say, "This man, she gotta have her own this and she gotta bring her own money and she gotta have a." I'm like, bro, you don't even get to know the female, like, You know what I'm saying? Get to know the person.
And she can very well have all of those things. Not everybody is.
Wait a minute. Is that the legend? What?
Yeah,
hold on. That can't be DG. Is that Datria? DG the vocalist?
What's up, baby?
Man, in the house, man.
We got a whole crew on here.
Man, we got the whole crew on.
Hey, well, I'm right here.
I know you out and about.
Man, you already know what time it is. But I had to come in here when my brother was talking about the morals. I say, okay, I need to jump in here on this.
D. I was trying to get the women in their place, D. I was asking them good questions,
D. Stop it.
In their place.
So let me.
All right, go ahead, D.
Go ahead right quick.
I was gonna share this real quick.
I can hear you, Chris.
Now, yeah.
Okay. Can y'all hear me though?
Yeah, you good.
You got you.
Okay. So that whole morals and values thing. That whole
No, go ahead, David. Go ahead.
I was gonna say that whole morals and values thing, right? So like, I'll be 36 in next month, right?
Right.
So one of the things that I started doing was looking at my life so far, and I'm just like, what are the things that are actually important to me, right? Family over everything, bro. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like my kids, man, they are like Like, I mean, dude, that's like my priority right there. But at the same time, it's like, you know, man, I still wish to have somebody all that or whatever. So I'm slowly creeping back into that. So, you know, I'm just taking my time with it, right? But one of the things that I feel like people need to start doing with that, like that whole morals and values thing, how do we gauge one another as people, right? Like, not even just in relationships, but in general, right? So some of the questions that I might ask would be like, well, okay, well, what's your whole take on the dating world right now? Where do you stand with it right now, right? Let me just try to get a feel of what, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to just come out of nowhere and be like, yada, 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 whatever, and then be like, never mind, you know? So I think it's important to ask questions. So, man, what's your name? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't know your name.
Miss Mika.
So, okay. So what are some of the questions or some of the things that you look for in terms of just gauging people in general? Like, what's some questions that you might ask just to get a feel for a person? It ain't even got to be on no, oh, I like you, I'm just coming off. You know what I mean? Like, just what are some of the things that you look for, that you ask, or that you would like to be asked when gauging people?
Like, what do you like to do? What do you like to have fun? Do you read? What kind of books do you read? What kind of music you listen to? Do you like movies? Like, let's just have like a real honest conversation. As if what kind of food? What kind of food you like? I like to cook. What kind of food you like? You know what I mean?
Don't get me started with food. This is to go a whole nother direction now. Don't do it.
Man, crazy.
Right, but that's basic conversation, right? But that's what I'm saying. Where is that going now? Like, let's keep it real. Like, them kind of conversations, people don't have that anymore, right? We don't have just basic good conversations about what do you like? How are you? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What makes you move? What makes you laugh? Like, what's your favorite thing?
You know what?
I would even ask, like, do you watch sports? What's your favorite team? Like, you know, do you play games?
You know why people you know why people have a hard time having conversations now?
Talk to me.
Because when you're around strangers, you can't create a conversation such as, hey, how your day going? Hey, so and so and so forth, right? You got to be able to talk to strangers to bring that in a relationship, to be open enough to have those engaging conversations.
There it is, engagement.
When you try tomorrow, walk by somebody and just ask them how they doing. Hey, how you doing? But we as people,
as a society,
walk past people
don't do
every
that,
day and don't say anything to anybody. You know, just mean mugging them or just don't want to say anything. That's
and
I know how it is.
But I do that though. I do that. Like, if I see a woman and I think she's pretty, I say, "Oh my God, you are so beautiful." If I see she has on something that I like, I bet, "Oh, baby girl, I'm loving them shoes." Like, I am not, you know what I'm saying? Or if I see that they reading a certain kind of book and I've read it, "Oh my God, that is such a good book," you know, or something like that. That's me. I would give compliments to, and even if I see a man, he got on the good old suit, I'm be like, "Listen, that suit right there is fire."
So
like, I'll just say it and not even know the person.
So let me say this. Let me say this though. You ever notice how when you out and about, right? And I'm pretty sure we all can attest to this. I feel like God gives us a certain light to ourselves, bro, that people just see it. They know that what type of person you are. Like, damn, I get a sense that this person might be dope, whatever. I had plenty of people. I'll be just minding my business and they'll just be like, it'd be more than 3 to 5 second stares, man. I'm like, what you looking at? You know, like, but I have to stop and think about it and be like, yo, well, wait a minute. Obviously, they see something that I can't see right now. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe I can see. So, like what Damon said was, when you out and about, just interact with people, bro. I've been doing this for probably about a month straight, and I've been having all types of engaging conversations with people, man. And you really be surprised, man, like the level of conversation that's out there, bro. Because we always talk about what ain't, but let's talk about what is, man. You'll know what is if you engage with people, man. And again, it ain't always got to be on the relationship stuff. It's just general engagement, and those things can prepare you for when you're ready to step into that realm of dating. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'll give you an example. I'm on Clubhouse a lot, right? It's kind of become a thing for me, okay? A lot of people started off on the app. They not on there no more. They come here and there or whatever. You always hear all the negative stuff when it comes to dating. But I don't necessarily just go in rooms and hear people just talk about the positive side of that. Okay, how does one prepare for dating? How does one, if they got divorced, but going back into the dating world,
right?
You know, what are some of the married people that you surround or that you know that give their you know what I'm saying, what they have in being married? Because we know it ain't a walk in the park, man. You're gonna have you might have more bad days than good. You know what I'm saying? We gotta let people know, like, look, this ain't no walk in the park, man. We done been through some you know what I'm saying? Like, so
well, I'm gonna tell you right there. If you're in a marriage and you got more bad days than good, man, that ain't no good marriage. Let me just
it really ain't, but I'm just saying.
I'm
just saying. I feel what you're saying. I feel what you're saying, Chief. Of course, we want the good to outweigh the bad, brother. You know what I'm saying? I hear you, bro. I didn't think about that for a minute. Like, hold on, wait a minute. Let me retract that right quick. Of course, you want to have more good than bad, brother.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? But still, but at the same time, though, Chief, those are still experiences that people need to understand happen, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, of course, it's like, hey, bro, you don't need to be up in that, dog. Like, you know, so I don't know, man. Like, it's a pretty interesting conversation, man. Like, I had to jump on man.
Let me ask the beautiful couple at the top.
Oh Lord, here we go.
Here they are.
Tool up, Chris. Tool up.
How long did it? Beautiful couple.
Rare sighting. Raquel don't know nothing.
How do y'all feel about accountability, morals and values in y'all relationship as a married couple?
Okay.
No point, Chris. Both of y'all. He said both of y'all.
I said the beautiful couple, not one. Go ahead.
I feel like with us, we both hold each other accountable. And the thing is, like, just the other day, we had a discussion, and I was like, look, you know, I presented something to him and like, hey, I didn't like the way you did this, you know. And so he kind of like, well, wait a minute, you know, he started kind of going there, and I was like, wait a minute. I'm not arguing with you. You know, we just having a conversation. And I'm saying the way that you said it, it could be offensive to somebody. And he was like, you know, then he thought about it, and he was like, you know what, you're right. I was like, we're not getting an argument. I'm just holding you accountable because you said something that if you would have said it to me, it would have hurt my feelings, but you said it to somebody else. And I imagine that their feelings might have been hurt, you know, so I'm holding you accountable by telling you that what you said could have hurt their feelings. So he kind of, you know, was upset a little bit at first, and then he kind of was like, you know what, you're right, you know, but we always hold each other accountable because
That's good.
You have to.
And after that,
let me ask you this: did you feel offended because women always try to call out men flaws?
Oh yeah. No,
I quit.
I think that both people should always point out each other flaws, because how can you get better if they holding back and saying, oh, I'm not gonna tell him this or tell him that? No, we should tell each other, hey, you know what, I don't like the way you did this. I don't like the way, or hold each other. That's what's holding each other accountable is, you know, it's not necessarily have to be a negative.
Constructive criticism.
Yeah, it don't have to be negative. Some people say, oh, well, they flaws. Not necessarily the flaws. It's just like, hey, you know, I noticed this, and you know, it hurt my feelings that you said this or did this. And I was to a point where in our younger days, younger marriage, I would be like, I wouldn't say anything. I'm just mad I'm mad. He don't know why I'm mad. I'm just walking around upset, you know. But after 20,
what did I used to say to you, baby?
Yeah,
you can be mad
by yourself. Yeah. But a lot of the times, if he did something to upset me, I didn't say anything because I'm like, okay, well, he's gonna be upset. He gonna blow up, so I'm not gonna say anything. But now, it's been years now. But now we learn to. Hey, when I'm feeling a certain type of way about anything, if he feeling a certain type of way, he gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. Let's get it out right now. Let's not get upset. We both grown ups. We're not kids. We're not in high school. Let's sit down and have a real grown up conversation and don't let it go till tomorrow.
We don't let it go till tomorrow because we might be in front
we didn't. Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not
just loving it.
I'm not fake in front of nobody.
Right.
I'm fake like we all good.
Now with me, I can walk in the room and nobody ever tell that we upset with each other. But Oscar. With him,
she can win an Oscar.
That's me too. That's me too.
I don't want people in my business.
We can halfway get into it, and then somebody knock on the door. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
Wow.
I'm like, nah, I'm upset right now. I want them to know I'm upset.
Right.
Nah, she wanna Angela Bassett and whatnot.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah, that's who she is. She don't need to be in our business.
Let's wait till they leave and then we have this conversation.
But
the door closed and then she turned back on like.
And look, all that is
everything
we
that happened in y'all marriage should not be displayed in the open anyway.
Yeah,
right,
exactly.
It's been many a times. It's been many a times where me and my wife has been upset. But when we walk in the establishment, we holding hands.
Yeah.
We enjoying the night. We enjoying the ceremony. But now when we get back in that truck, we're gonna finish that conversation.
Yeah, that's right.
But the thing is, it's about growth, right? It's about growth.
Maturity.
You never want to embarrass your spouse or significant other in front of somebody
on anybody else.
Right. Right.
I definitely agree with that.
You should never be able to be in a place to where
comfortable.
Her feelings or his feelings are not as important as you embarrassing the person right at that moment.
Right. Okay.
Their feelings. That means that their feelings don't really matter.
Right. You're right.
And you just ready to embarrass them, or you ready to win the argument.
So then that also go back to being accountable as well.
Embarrassment that's not right.
Because y'all have to be accountable for each other's feelings as well. So it's a two-way street.
Because it's more like, to me, it's more like a respect. Like I respect my husband to the utmost, and I feel like he respect me to the utmost. We've been married for 23 years in July. And
goodness gracious, congratulations!
Right.
Wow.
I respect him so to the point where it's not gonna be like I don't want to. I can tell you probably on maybe 2 hands in 23 years that we have had. It's not gonna be more than 10 times that we had like a real serious argument, because let's have a conversation.
Not an argument.
We're not going to argue and we're not going to go there. We're going to sit down and have a real conversation.
We whisper fight.
Yeah.
But here's the deal, though.
Man, that boy, that's crazy.
That's good, right?
When we were raising my niece, I never wanted her to see us arguing. So we're gonna whisper. We're gonna argue. We're gonna be whispering while we argue in the room.
We done put her to sleep.
Hey man.
Yeah.
We were in the closet sitting there.
But,
hey,
all right, so here's the deal. So all of that is great, right? That's everything you're saying is great. I'm 100% behind that, right? Most people know that, right? Everything you're saying, most people know, right? There's nothing you're saying that's different. Been married for a long time. You have some single people who will say, you know what, hey, I want this, that, and the other. I feel this way. What I've learned is that a lot of people will say the things to make themselves look good and then make you feel good. All right?
Absolutely.
And that's what happens. So when we start talking about this stuff, right, a lot of people out here, the reason why society is the way it is with a lot of this stuff, and that's why marriages are still failing, is because are we really having open dialogue about the fact that like you said, holding people accountable, but are we really when you're really looking for somebody, if you're talking about relationships, you're talking about dating and all this other stuff, right? Or just in general, we're talking about men and women, how we doing things, we're different species. But are we really and truly respecting each other in society enough to say, you know what, you're going to come to the table with this. You're going to come to the table with that. I'm just being honest with you. What I've seen a lot is that people in society now want them pancake relationships. You know a pancake mix? They got all the batter and they said just add water, right? So now they just want you need to have this, and this, and just add meat, right? And that's what it is, right? You see, they don't believe in building. See, you talking about Christian Raquel, you see a lot of people who've been married for a while, they had to build that up.
Mm-hmm.
But we live in a microwave society now, right? That's why people don't want to put in the time for nothing no more. If it ain't happening like this, in a split second, if you ain't lining up here, or there are literally people who put timetables on it. But like, if you don't do this in 3 months, I'm out. If you're not done with this in 6 months, I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? Like,
how you
gonna get all together in 6 months? Like, it took me years.
Right. Boy, Jay, what are you doing right now?
It took you years. You know what I'm saying? They do it with God. Listen to the real. It's spiritual. You've been acting a certain way your whole life. You've been broke your whole life. But you want God to turn it around tomorrow. Do you understand? You're not even prepared for the kind of wealth God has get you. He has to gradually get you there. That's why you go through tests. That's why you go through trials. Well, it's no different in relationships, right? How you treat your friend, right, is how you will treat your mate. Believe you me, how you treat this person over here is how you treat that person. Real talk, the realest thing I've ever heard in my life, I'm going to share it with you. The measure of a woman in any friendship or even say a relationship when it comes to a man is what she does when he has nothing. When he has zero, how you treat him, how you value him, how you relate to him. When he has nothing, says everything about you. And when it comes to a man, it's the opposite. The value of a man is not what he does when he don't have nothing. It's when he does have everything. When he is making a good money, when he is wealthy, does he leave his wife and go get him another chick over here now, all of a sudden? You forgot the woman who's been riding with you all these years, right? Mm-hmm. Female, other side of female, right? All of a sudden it was good in the beginning. It was great. All of a sudden it ain't like that no more. And all of a sudden you out? All of a sudden, now I don't know if I can deal with this. Irreconcilable differences. Let's keep it 1,000. That's just what it's come down to, right? People don't battle for stuff anymore, right? They look at it as, oh, well, I cut my losses. I can always get somebody else. Like, are you kidding me? Like, that's not. People ain't cars. You know what I'm saying? You can't just cut somebody off and be like, oh, I'm just getting another relationship, right? And this thing is just gonna ride like that. But that's what we live in. I'm just keeping it real.
That's true. And a lot of times people don't. I'm sorry,
Ms. Miko.
No, you're fine.
When you saying, I see you in the background. I think I figured you out.
That's a good one.
But we're gonna do that on part 3.
We got part 3 coming.
I had a shook. But how do you feel about what she's saying? Not only in a marriage, because we're not just making it about a marriage, right? Because everybody's not married, right?
Right.
We talking about situations. We talking about
situations, anything.
Relationships, friendships. How do you feel about holding people accountable in those situations? Not just marriage, but whatever you got going on, whatever Daytron got going on. We everybody at the top is married. I don't know y'all's situation, and I'm not in it. But how do you feel about it?
I don't think. Well, first of all, any kind of relationship that you're in, each other has to be willing to be held accountable.
Right.
Like Mrs. Fish was saying when she was telling him, "Oh, what you said was this. You should, maybe have said it a different way," and he got upset. But in the end, he took accountability for it. Now, had he just been mad, you know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
I'm not changing what I said. I said what I said. I don't care about nobody's feelings. That's something different. He didn't want to take accountability for what he did say. And in the instance, he wouldn't have had respect for her because of what she was telling him, how she was feeling. So to me, that doesn't just go for a married couple. To me, that's in any relationship.
Right.
Any relationship, you have to be willing to take accountability for your actions, what you do, what you say, whether you're a man or a woman.
Right.
You have to take accountability for what y'all do and say, and y'all in any kind of ship. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Y'all probably gonna be good. You know what I mean? Because y'all have that understanding.
I'm glad you said that, Mika.
Y'all have
I'm gonna say this.
Communication.
Right. And I'm gonna say this with you. Anybody listening, if you hear somebody say, "This is just who I am," you know what I'm saying? Anybody say that 9 out of 10 times, they probably single.
Keep walking or run? Which one?
You can't grow that way. You can't grow. You can't grow.
Think about it. Think about it. Anybody you've heard say that? Oh, this is just who I am. I ain't changing for nobody.
Right.
9 out of 10 times they single.
Yeah, because they want to.
Let me.
They right. They won't
change
right nobody. They want to change.
Who in here done said that before?
Hey.
At one point in their life. How many people? Raise your hand. I know I did. I done said it before. We all done.
And what did that work? How did that work?
Boy, man, listen.
I had to change.
They had me. They brought me more problems. They brought me more problems, boy. Look here.
I had to change. You say what happened? I had to change.
That's it.
So here's the thing. How can you live in this world that God created if you don't change? You think you're gonna be the same person that you was 15 years ago? Come on,
right? It's about who you are. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying?
There's some people like that.
I'm gonna be.
I mean, it's great when you have the.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Daytron.
Go ahead.
It take men longer to mature in life than women.
Let's talk about it. Okay.
I'm with y'all, men. I'm with y'all. It took me a long. It took me a long time to mature in life, right?
Right.
I always had this pride and stubbornness about when my wife told me, even though she may have been telling me the right thing, but my pride and my stubbornness, man, I don't want to hear that, man. Man, keep that to yourself, right?
Yeah,
right. But I learned that women are way more mature quicker. Sometimes, not all the time.
Sometimes, not all of them. Not all of them. Not all.
Then some men, not all men. Then some
not
men.
all.
It took me a long time to understand and respect what a woman is saying, and just listen rather than quickly responding. Because soon as she say something, and that word, that key word or key phrase, I'm snapping.
Yeah.
And it depends on that woman, you know.
Right.
And you have that respect you have for her, because if you have a real woman on your side, she ain't trying to tell you nothing crazy. She ain't trying to come at you crazy. She ain't trying to tell you nothing to have you out there looking like a fool. No, she's not going to do that. And that's a respect thing. What you trying to say, G?
I think sometimes.
What you trying to say, G?
All right, I had something in my nose. That came out.
No, I think sometimes a man is ready to snap because he don't recognize that he have a good. He don't recognize that she has his best interest.
It's a mature.
That goes back to what you were saying earlier about them being vulnerable. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like when you've been through so much with whoever, and they did whatever. So when you finally get someone, you don't know if they're going to do the same thing. So you're kind of guarded, not knowing that they're just there, not to disrupt your life, not to do what anybody else did. They're actually true to the game. You know what I mean? And they ready to be there and be by your side. But being that you're holding back is like, no, I don't want to. Nope, she gonna do the same thing, or he gonna do the same thing. It could be either vice versa.
A man is rarely going to tell a woman that he's been hurt.
Yeah, he's really not. But I
won't tell his homeboys he's been hurt. His homeboys can see it, but he won't say it.
He ain't gonna come out and say it though.
He's not gonna come out and
say
it.
Yeah, that's right.
You're right. Add on to that.
That mentality in the man is always a woman can't tell me nothing.
But some of his actions,
man, a woman can't tell me
nothing. If you're an observer
by himself,
if you're a woman that's an observer and he's just doing certain things, moving a certain way, you can kind of guess. I'm gonna say, okay, he's been through something. In his life, this is why he's moving this way. This is why he's acting that way. I'm an observer, so I'm gonna be like, okay.
But I will tell you
this. He's doing that. Something happened. Something.
Right.
You know, and I'm gonna ask you, like, why you don't open up? Why you don't talk to me about this? Why you don't want to do this? Why this? Why that?
But see,
I can spell a whole lot of things right here.
The other one is Christy. Hey, I don't know your wife. I'm pretty sure she's like that too. So that'll be 4.
Right. But here's what it is. But I'm glad you brought that up because here's the thing right here. This is for any female listening to this. I'm gonna share something with you. I'm gonna give you a guy code. I'm gonna give out one code so that you can hear this and
boy giving out cheat code for combat. Boy.
Yeah, I'm giving you a cheat code, right? Straight up. I don't care if you've been with a guy 5 years. I don't care if you've been with a dude 3 years. I don't care if you've been with a guy 10 years. And every guy on here could attest to this. So I'm gonna share something with you ladies. So if you in this situation or you're thinking about something, you understand what it is. It don't take that long for a man to know whether he's gonna make you his wife. So if you date somebody a long period of time, I'm just give out the code. I'm telling you, everybody different, but I'm gonna give you let me give you a little secret. This is fact. It don't take that long, and I'm gonna give you a number. I'm gonna do you one better. I'm gonna give you a number. By year 3, we already know. By year 3, we already know because we already know I'm gonna rock with this chick all the way through, or I don't know. She might, she may be. If we on the fence, that 3 years gonna turn into 5. And by the 5th year, more than likely, things don't change. You know what happens? This is fact. Y'all go ahead and break up. Something happened, and all of a sudden he'll meet somebody else. And I promise you, he marrying her in about a year, maybe 2 at the most. That is fact. So I'm giving you all the code.
I agree with that.
3-year mark.
I agree with that. I've seen it several times.
I had a conversation with a young lady a few years back, and she was telling me her issues with her man friend, and they were living together for like 8 years. And she was like, he doesn't want to get married. I can't get him to ask me to marry him. And I'm like, I said, well, what was the conversations that you guys had at the beginning?
It is.
She said, well, he said that he didn't want to get married. I said, wait a minute.
Well, he told you from jump.
I said, he told you that he didn't want to get married. She's like, yeah. And I said, so, and you've been with him for how long? She said, 8 years. And I said, listen to me. I said, he's right and you wrong. She said, what? I said, listen to me. That man told you the truth. He told you that he doesn't want to get married. He never want to get married. He told you up front that he don't want to get married. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's his decision.
That's it, right?
Okay, but you were the one that went into the relationship thinking that you can change him and change his mind. Now you've been in a relationship for 8 years and you upset because
you don't want to get married.
I said, come on. I said, you the one wrong. I said, he told you the truth. I said, but you wasn't truthful with him, telling him, hey, I want to get married. And if you don't want that, then I'm sorry, but maybe we shouldn't be together.
She wasn't truthful with herself.
She wasn't. And I said, look, you wrong and he's right. She's like, how are you going to? I said, no. I said, I'm just telling you the truth. I said, because that man told you the truth. He don't want to get married. So why would you think that you were going to change him?
And
it's been 8 years. Right. I said, do you not know you probably could have found somebody else and been married by now? If you would have found somebody that wants to
been married for 8 years.
I'm gonna drop another nugget real quickly based on what you just said, Rock. I'm gonna see right now. 8 years she spent with that dude. Here's a little secret for a lot of people out here. You married to somebody else's wife or somebody else's husband. That's why some of this stuff ain't working for you. I'm gonna give you a little nugget. It ain't because you did all this stuff. You put all this work in and something ain't right. It ain't because God didn't ordain it, right? It's the fact that you didn't listen from the beginning to everything that was pointed out to you. The man said he didn't want to get married.
Right.
This person was mature enough.
Change him.
You want to change this person. You don't have a window. You don't broke all your principles because why? A lot of y'all females, I'm just be real. A lot of y'all dudes, y'all putting these females in these friend categories, and y'all got females that you talking about. She my best friend. This chick done rode with you. She done been there for you. She done had your back. She done did everything a wife would do for you, and you still go date some other chick. And then when the other girl do you wrong, you call this other girl up and just start talking to her shoulder. I can't believe she did this to me. The fact that she even listening to you will show you something that in the face of adversity, that's the one that you won't listening to your problems. If she's listening to that, she'll listen to some other things. Yep. Same thing for you ladies. Y'all want to put these men in categories. Let me help you out right here. Okay. There's always going to be somebody that look better than the one you get with, going to have more than the one you get with. That's facts. Let's keep it 1,000. All the stuff you looking for. Both sides. Stop looking, and I'm gonna break some egos. Let's just be real. You got these criteria you looking for. Let me just be honest with you. You might. Let's just say you are a good-looking person, but the problem is you still living in the past because somebody done pumped your head up enough to let you think you all that, and you don't realize that you can get a relationship, but you can't keep a relationship because you're not grounded enough, because you're not rooted enough in what it takes to sustain it long term. So that's what you need. Not humble enough. So you got to work on that, because guess what? You could be all the good looking that you want to. At some point in your life, the people around you, one by one, so a lot of times start getting picked off, and you start figuring out what's wrong with you. What's wrong with you is because you didn't take the time to prepare for whatever stage and whatever phase you was going to face with a person, with a friend. You never prepared yourself for it because you thought you was all that. You thought, yes, you should be confident in yourself, but let's just be realistic. Your list is so, there's some people got a list of what they want. They don't even realize, here's another nugget. If your list is that good, the problem is, it's so good, only you can marry you. Only you can be with you.
But your list has to also be obtainable by you. Your same list that you want the next person to have, you have to be able to have that stuff or get that stuff yourself.
But watch this. But the list that you have is you. And you. The list that you have is a mirror. That's what people don't understand. That's what I'm getting at. I want this, and this. Why? Because you have this, and this. So you're looking for you. And guess what? Newsflash. The reason why a lot of y'all singles is because you have found you. You just don't know you've been married to you for a very long time. And you need to divorce you. Understand that it ain't all about you. And get with the right person you need to be with. Because if you plan on sharing something.
So you saying,
but I'm gonna leave it alone though.
You saying is that mirror on the wall type thing?
The list is everything you want. Right, real talk. The list is everything you want that you have. It ain't nothing about nobody else have. The list is all about what you have. Right. So guess what? You're right. You are with you. Because the list reflects you.
And you ugly on the inside. That's why ain't nobody gonna be with you.
Right. But people are gonna be with them. The people they get with are also ugly on the inside. Right. That's why it don't work out.
That's why it's only the outer. It's only the outer workings that you think that matter. Right. You trash on the inside.
Right. But you're not built on anything concrete. Like if you still think you're still good looking, that's all it takes, you're back in high school. There's so much more to sustain a relationship, friendships, and all kind of stuff. You gotta be battle tested. You know what I'm saying? You gotta been through some things to sustain weight in life. You're still thinking, okay, if I look good and I smell good and not all this, that's male and female. I'm just gonna keep it 1,000 with you because we're talking about men versus women. But listen, totality of stuff, it is what it is, right? You're still caught up in this world where you just think it's all about looks and all about things that you don't understand. When you about to get older, it's about certain things. When you pass a certain age, it's just my wife come with me to the doctor's appointment I gotta go to because my body ain't the way it used to be. You know what I'm saying? Right. If my wife come with me, if she make, you know what I'm saying? Will she help me up when my crutches because I done broke my leg and I can't help certain things? Will she hold down certain things because I done lost my job? It wasn't even my fault. And the money situation changed. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't thinking on them kind of levels and you getting older in life, watch what happens. You're gonna miss it. That's just the fact of what it is.
Like you were saying before, like you have to get to know that other person because like, for instance, the man living at the mom's house, you know what I mean?
Right.
Again, he could have lost his job. something, he could have gotten into a bad accident, God forbid, and he just, you know, his mom could either been helping him or his mom is not feeling well. She's sick. She going through some ailments or whatever, you know, what have you. He's helping her. But doesn't necessarily mean, you know, it was his fault about whatever happened. Doesn't necessarily mean that he's broke. Doesn't necessarily mean any of that. But since you're just from on the outside looking in, it's like, oh, well, he's with his mama. Oh, gosh, no. You know what I'm saying? Without even trying to find out why.
Out the gate.
I work backwards. This how strong, she know this. This how strong my game was.
Your game? Why we got to talk about your game?
I mean, we here.
You listen.
We gonna talk about it. Because we the most tenured on this month. We're gonna talk about it.
That's true.
Look, I'm gonna tell you, your game might have been strong, but Raquel,
just stop right there.
Just stop right there. To be with your behind, she don't been with y'all. Let me tell you something, man. I've been friends with you long enough. The fact that she stayed with your behind as long as she had all this stuff, it ain't about your game. Your game got you to look. It got you. You got game. You might got her a ticket to the game, but you ain't even built. Like I said, you got a ticket. She done
game wrapped up.
She done draw the plays up. She done drew the whole thing up. You got the uniforms. You just showed up.
We won a championship in 2000.
And guess who the coach was? Guess who was playing the team? Guess who had to get your behind straight because you got a fresh haircut tonight. So you think that because you got a cut tonight, that your game on point. That's
why he acting up tonight.
That's exactly why he acting up, Mrs. Fish. That's exactly why he acting up. He been talking about it before we even got started.
That fresh haircuts do some things to you.
I'm like, man, that boy Ray lined me up. If y'all
you got one wave in that head. One wave.
Not one wave.
Cap, one wave. Whole way back.
This guy.
Hey. They be tripping on him, boy.
Hey man, I made it to the house. I'm about to jump on.
You get one of them waves go back one.
Okay.
That's when it start going backwards.
They go back
going against the ocean. That's what,
hey, the tide is going further and further out.
The tide is going back. That's when we. But it's real. Hey, that's another thing. I'm glad you brought that up, Chris. Some of these women want to get with it. You might get a dude who has hair on his head. Give him about 5 years. It may not be no more hair on his head. Are you okay with that?
But right? Y'all give him.
Let's be real.
Give him 10 years because he might go get that thing back.
Oh yeah. You put a thing on your head. Yeah, they got that now. They got that
coming back.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's ridiculous. It really is. But if that man feeling like y'all can do it, why we can't?
You know, but that goes back to what I'm saying. Look, we're talking about men versus women, but I believe too, you know, when you meet a woman, ladies, I'm just gonna be real with you. When we meet you, y'all not 100% honest. You're not. You know why? When we meet you, you got heels on. So
look at Miss Lincoln.
When we meet you, you 5'8". You take the heels off, you 5'4". So hold on now. Then when we meet you, the hair is all the way down to your shoulders. Then the weave come off. So now we realize, okay, she got short hair. Then you might have contacts on. Then you got the makeup. So when we meet you out the gate, we don't even know entirely.
Miss Mika,
what we getting?
What you got to say about that?
We ain't got to
what you doing?
Miss Mika. So you giving me a fake version of you out the real?
I'm just saying, that's what we got to deal with.
Look. She about to tell you. She about to tell you. She about to tell you. Look at Miss Mika. Look at Miss Mika.
Just being real.
Okay, so
talk to me. How you feel about what you said?
Yes.
You say I left the screen.
Look at Kid.
That's facts, though. I mean, we love it.
I left the screen.
Okay, now that could be facts, right?
But
now, did you ask her anything? If that was her hair, now if she got on heels, obviously she not that tall because she got freaking heels on.
Maybe I ain't good at math. Maybe I'm not good at math. Maybe I don't know what
But I'm come on, you can look at. Listen. It don't take a genius to be like, okay, yeah, she tall, but dang, she do got on some heels that's yay high. So I know that's adding to her height.
If we're looking at her.
No.
Did Chrissy have on heels?
I can't tell you because I wasn't looking at that.
So again, it depends on what you're looking at. Because if me being me, if you meet me and I got hair down my back, if you be like, is that a weave? I'm like, it sure is. As soon as I get home, I'm snatching it off. You know what I mean? Is this mine? No, it ain't mine. You know what I'm saying?
And you pay for it, it is yours.
Those your real eyes. But they sure not. They some contacts, and I'm snatching them out as soon as I get home. Like that's just how straight.
Oh, that boy made it to the house.
That's how straight I keep it. You know what I'm saying? Like if you ask me, I'll tell you. Like, no, this ain't mine. It's a little itchy, but I'm gonna take it off as soon as I get home. I got it on because I'm meeting my girls. We're going out, whatever the case is. But no, this ain't mine. I bought it.
Yeah. I mean, it's mine because I bought it. Listen, when y'all meet us, y'all want honesty, right? The first thing I feel, a lot of women ask me, "Are you honest?" You know, I want a person that's honest and upfront and truthful. And you wearing deception. You are wearing deception on you.
Some men wear deception too. Some men wear deception too. Now we might meet you, and you driving a BMW. It ain't even yours. It's a rental.
Exactly.
Oh no,
it's mine for that 24
you know what I'm saying? Let's come
on now. Are you tell us you ain't talk? You not talking to nobody else? I ain't talking to nobody. You don't.
No, I ain't talking. I ain't talking to nobody. I ain't got no wife. I ain't got no kids.
We got friends. You know, we got people that we are.
No, Mrs. Fish. I ain't got no wife. I ain't got no kids. I ain't got nobody.
Oh, shit, I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah, come to find out, they're married. They got 4 kids. Come on. Living with their mama.
But watch this though. You had to go through the phases of deception, right? He lying, he doing all this stuff. Well, I'm just saying out the gate, you say you want trust and honesty and stuff. And then you come in and when we see you look good, we want you. Listen, we want you to wear the heels and the makeup and the dress and all that. We want that. But what we're saying is the premise of it is we ain't seen you with your hair wrap on. You know, we ain't seen you.
But if you get to know me, you're gonna see me with that hair wrap on because when I get home, I'm snatching that wig off and I'm gonna put my scarf on. Now, if you call me later on and we get on video, you're gonna see that wasn't mine because I'm gonna have a scarf on.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. I got to see you in this season. I got to see it all, baby. You know what I'm saying? Right. We ain't finna waste no time. Look here. Snatch your wig off. You know what I'm saying?
I think if you wrap your hair, we need to see that on the gate.
I need to see that thing, man. I need to see.
But it depends on when you meeting us, and it depends on when and where.
I get it, you know.
It depends on when and where. Now, if you meet me at the grocery store or something like that, or if you meet me going to check my mailbox, I might have my wrap scarf on my head because I'm just going to the mailbox. But if I'm going out and you meet me, I'm definitely going to try to be looking presentable wherever I'm going.
And I just had a conversation with a female the other day, and the dude expect her to be glammed up 24/7. And the thing is,
you're gonna be mad at me.
If we're gonna be in a relationship, then you're not gonna get that 24/7.
No, sir.
You shouldn't expect to.
Because he ain't gonna come ready 24/7.
Glammed up. You know how long
wearing that makeup all that time
every day?
If you wearing that makeup all the time, your skin gonna be jacked up.
No,
it ain't happening.
It's gonna be jacked up, and when I see that skin later on, it's all jacked up.
Right.
I don't want no jacked up skin rubbing up against me.
Really?
Right. But I'm saying, like, glammed up every day. I give it to the women that can glam up every day and all of that good stuff. I can't glam up every day. It takes too long. I got too much going on. I got kids.
Right, but I'm glad you brought that up, right?
It won't happen today.
But when you glam though, right?
But the reason why I brought all that up is because people got to hear it's not realistic, right? It's not realistic when you meet somebody, the way you meet them, and then things maturate, that it changes. It's no different when you go for an interview. Don't nobody go on a job interview and say, you know what? Yes, I'm gonna be honest with you. When you see yourself 5 years from now, everybody gonna ask them the questions, what's your strengths and what your weaknesses are. Nobody gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. You hire me, I'm gonna be good for them 90 days, but then once you hire me on, that I'm gonna be late a little bit. I'm gonna probably eat some food out the break room that don't really belong to me. You know what I'm saying? Then, you know, I might do a couple other things.
Not out the break room.
You know what I'm saying? Like nobody says that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody say that.
Not out the break room. You don't know what you're getting in the break room.
That boss know eventually that's what's gonna happen because all the rest of
exactly. Somebody's gonna break the rule, but you don't say that in the interview. You just say they were dating. You don't say that. You don't say all the stuff you ain't gonna do. You know what I'm saying?
But my thing is, if you meet a woman, since you have brought that up, if y'all go on a date and she all glammed up, whatever the case is, ask her. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know what?
Like, you know,
I think this should come up.
Every day. If she's honest, she's gonna tell you this is not my everyday thing.
But that'll happen on the first day. Like that's not realistic because we've been
not on the first day. But I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? If y'all go on a few dates and
I get
to know each other, you know, you'll see her in her, you know,
her more natural setting. Yeah.
Right, her unglammed status. Because she should not be afraid, or you should not make her feel afraid for you to see her in her unglammed status.
Right.
You know, because some men can make women feel like, you know, they have to be, like she was saying, have to be glammed up all the time. But sometimes that's just not realistic. Like,
I mean, dude, you ain't glammed up all the time. How many dudes out here, you bald headed with a stomach? That's tripping. You bald headed with a stomach talking about you want her glammed up. Like stop the madness. Stop the cap.
You done did 10 push-ups before you went out.
Right. Oh, boy.
That's not gonna form nothing.
Right, nothing.
Right.
Ain't gonna form nothing. You're gonna do 10 of them before you go to the club.
Listen, y'all. Listen, I didn't realize how late it was, y'all. We done been here forever. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a part 3 because there's a whole lot more. Like we touching a lot of stuff. We're gonna get some more. I'm gonna play a few.
You gonna expose?
And so Mika, you gotta come on for that.
I'm listen.
All right, you gotta come on. We're gonna do a part 3.
Do what you gotta do, DP.
Right.
I am not afraid.
Yes, we're gonna do part 3. So I don't know if we might do it Tuesday or Thursday. But like I'm gonna give everybody, we're gonna decide we're gonna do a part 3 to this because there's some more stuff. Like I was just touching the surface of some stuff. There's some stuff I'm about to just bring that we just gonna hammer it out. We're gonna have some issues because, like I said at the last thing before we get out, I ain't get a chance to touch today. I just feel like I'm just gonna be real. It's facts. I love my ladies, but just the truth, right? Like men are just better at a lot of things. We just are. I mean, that's just fact. The best. I'm being real. Tell me I'm lying. The best cooks in the world are what? The best cooks in the world are men. The best makeup artists in the world are men.
Can I touch?
The best designers in the world are men.
Can I?
I'm being real.
You can't be possibly
I'm talking about the food right quick. Can I get in there?
Raquel, where am I?
Thank you, boo.
You asking me?
Yeah. Who looks better?
Can I get in there? Do I have your attention?
Hey.
Attention.
Okay, well, I guess.
Hello.
Hey, Chief.
The only thing we can't do is have kids.
I see you. I see you. I see you.
Raquel,
wait a minute.
Raquel,
do you
save
cook
that
better?
for part 3.
Do you cook better?
What you mean?
Right.
Do I cook better?
Do you cook better than Christy?
I'm gonna tell you on the part 3.
Let's talk about that.
On here.
Let's talk about that.
I think she went out somewhere.
Let's talk about that.
So we're gonna do part 3. I'm gonna have her on here, and we're gonna go through some things, and we're gonna see. Just break it down society-wise. This is men versus women, part 3. Stay tuned.
Mrs. Smith, he talking about men do all of this better than women, but he ain't talking about him. He ain't talking about him.
Listen, I'm gonna break down me.
He ain't talking about him.
I ain't got no problem. I'm part of the species. So we already got it in our DNA. Yeah. It's already in there. The DNA is there. Even though I may not be there, it's there in me, right? What the pastor say is the one who dwelleth within me. So that it's all within me.
So it's within you, but you just don't know how to do it. That's what it is.
Listen, it's manifesting.
I'm just saying.
It's happening.
I'm just saying.
Greatness is happening.
I'm just saying. You know, if the shoe fits, wear it. But I'm just saying.
I'm gonna break it down in part 3.
In the show, dog, you digging yourself.
Yeah,
bro.
In
the show,
part 3, we gonna dig part 3. We gonna bring it home, and it doesn't matter. Y'all, I'm not scared of it.
Yeah,
we gonna talk
closing out, making us look bad as hell.
We out of here. Matter of fact, we done did what we came to do tonight.
That door is closed, and he's still trying to pick the lock.
Don't forget to subscribe to the channel.
I'm trying to pick the lock. The door is closed.
Subscribe to the channel.
Right. Just stop opening it because
it's okay if you're wrong. Okay.
Right.
Y'all, that's what I'm talking about. Y'all just sat here.
It's okay if you're not the better cook. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right.
We're talking about men and women. We're talking being honest and upfront and all this stuff. And I just brought it up. That's all. Y'all want to hate on me now? Don't bring the energy.
No, we're not hating. We're not hating. It's no hate over here at all. Not whatsoever.
And we'll break it down.
Let me tell you something about. Let me tell you something about this one right here. She's real. She's real mild and mellow.
Mm-hmm. I know. I don't got her all riled up. Good. I got Raquel riled up. Good. That's why part 3 is coming. That's when you bring it. If I'm wrong, then prove me wrong.
Oh, you wrong?
No, this guy.
He all the way wrong. He know he wrong.
All right, so Cheese. So we gonna do best.
He know he wrong. That's why he's talking so much because he know he wrong.
I want to see a show of hands. Is Ralph Lauren male or female?
A show of hands.
Christian Dior, male or female? The best designers of the world are men.
I want a show of hands who believe what he said.
Probably only the men.
He didn't even raise his own.
Oh look, they even raised that.
Well, I know. I can.
He don't even believe himself.
I ain't worried about that.
Raquel, quit putting me on the blast now. We're doing for part 3.
You don't even believe yourself.
I believe myself. I believe myself.
I
believe in me.
You wanted this. I tried to save you, but nah, you asked for this, so you gonna
look what you
do.
So we're gonna do this, y'all. Part 3.
Can everybody get a segue out or some last remarks, whatever they want to say?
Y'all. Any last remarks, y'all? We had a great time tonight. We're getting ready to get out of here. We're gonna do part 3.
It was crazy.
We have some more fun. We're gonna bring you facts. We're gonna bring you facts about life, relationship, couple, men, women, and we're gonna hit some. We're gonna touch some buttons like we do. So don't worry.
Touch some buttons, okay.
I love it. All right, y'all. So who coming to the table? We are about to be out of here. Mika. I'm gonna start with you since you are our guest. Did you enjoy yourself?
Thank y'all for having me. I appreciate it. Like I always said, previous times, you guys are super dope. I think what you guys are doing is just awesome. Because it's definitely needed, and it's definitely needed for people to just come and speak. You know what I'm saying? Just come and talk, have a good time, not feel judged. Although we're going to judge you when, we learn that you can't really cook. But you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm just saying. But,
don't sleep on the brother.
I thank you guys for having me. Thank you for tuning in and jumping on Mrs. Fish. I appreciate you. Another female in the building because, of course, we super dope and amazing because that's how we do.
Right.
But y'all gonna have a little, See that piano back there? Yeah, we're going to continue playing them keys on y'all. Keep on.
We keep this thing PG, y'all. PG. Parental guidance. Raquel, you want to say something before you out since you guested in here too? You done dove in here.
I had to come on and represent for the women because I said, wait, I was doing hair. I said, let me hurry up because I have to get in here.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me get up in here.
You know us women, we multitask.
Yeah, we gotta hear both perspectives. We're not gonna hear just the man's side. We gotta hear both sides.
Yes.
Right.
I appreciate that. Because
I feel you can't have one without the other, so I get it.
That's right, because we gonna feel like we right, and y'all gonna feel like y'all right. So when
it's a feeling though, right?
If we just really listen, really listen to each other.
Did he say that's a feeling?
It's a feeling though, right?
Part 3. He said that for part 3.
Yeah, I caught that.
I'm gonna believe no.
But I appreciate it. Thank y'all for having me on here. I love listening to y'all. I be in the comments.
Yep, me too.
Yes, we love y'all, man. Thank you for the support, y'all. Y'all always support us. And we love y'all for that, for
Yeah.
real.
Thank you.
DG, what's going on, D? You down there? I see you. You good?
Man, I'd have missed by. I feel like I'd have missed by 20 episodes, man. So, I can say it is definitely an honor and a pleasure to be in the building, man.
Appreciate
work
having
has been
you,
consuming
family.
a brother, man, in a good way.
We know.
Just thankful for life, man. Thankful for y'all. Miss Mika, Miss Raquel, Chris, Chi, Damon. I'm excited about what's to come next, man.
Man, we're gonna do it. We're doing it.
Me, Chi, and Damon and Chris, we've talked about so much stuff, on the back end over the years, just things we wanted to implement and do. So it's cool to see all this come together. You know what I mean? I'm gonna make some time to try to jump in here as often as I can. With the schedule and all. But one of the things that I would like to discuss at some point, as we get through these shows, is get on some food.
Mental health.
I got a lot of ideas and just different things that I would like to, present to the people. You know what I'm saying? To try. Got a lot of ideas, man, in my brain that I want to get out and
absolutely,
really give people a different outlook when it comes to food. Of course, I got this mic and this speaker over here, so of course I gotta get some vocals in for y'all too one time.
Oh yeah, we'll put you on there.
We can do a special thing for Chris and Raquel 23. You know what I'm saying? That's
I heard Chris sing better than you.
Yeah.
Huh?
I heard Chris sing better than you.
Oh, that's awesome. No.
Look here now. Look, Raquel, listen now.
Here, right there. Chris,
listen.
No, I'm just messing with you.
Too many conversations. Hey, Chris, let me show you something.
When you singing like Luther, then we gonna
He's singing like Luther.
Look what I picked up on vinyl, brother.
Oh, okay.
Oh wow.
Is that music?
Music Soul Child, yeah.
Hey, boy, this is near and dear to my heart, brother. You know what I mean?
Vinyl, yeah. You don't find it on vinyl.
Oh, I ain't done with you yet, Chris.
You know what I'm at?
Oh, okay. I ain't done with you yet, boy.
Oh, he coming real right now. He acting out now. He acting a fool now. What the mama say? He's showing out now. He got something. The mama say he's showing out now.
Don't let me go get mine. The last one I picked up was beginning.
Yeah, nah, Chris, I know your collection is a lot bigger than mine, bro. So I'm trying to get there. So I just, But no, man, I'm to get back on track though. I'm definitely gonna be in the building for the next one, man.
Oh yeah.
And like I say, man, just for all the people that's been watching, man, thank y'all for coming through and showing, the platform some love, man.
Definitely.
And, I know it's a long video, man. We're gonna edit some stuff, man.
Yeah, but anyway, I'm gonna be done, man. And I'm gonna let D do his thing.
Damon, you appreciate you, Daydream, man. D-man, amazing.
Sure.
Damon, brother, check us out.
This goes to show that men and women can have constructive criticism on both sides, either good or bad, right? Also, I'm proud of everybody on here. Any way I can support you in any way. I told Ms. Mika, we was texting on the live, and I was just telling her, like, whenever you ready and whenever you start, just let us know, and we gonna jump on yours just like you jumped on ours, right? It's all about manifesting something, right? So this was a start for her. This was a start for her, and she can tell her journey, right, on how it started and things of that nature. That beautiful couple at the top. It's good to see that also, right? So anything that we can do together as one, I'm all for it. She already know I don't like doing this at all, but she always supported me, and I'm forever reciprocating.
I'm bring you out that shell, bro. You got your man of little words. But
this is Mr. Podcast right here.
I'm surprised to hear that because I love to hear what you have to say.
Yeah,
very
powerful words.
I appreciate it.
Because he spent all week.
I'm just doing it. I'm doing this for Chi. I don't even do this. Chi always helps me.
He got that deep voice to man voice. I'm that brother. What's up, voice man, brother? You got that deep voice.
Good night. I'm leaving. Better leave. Let me start scrolling.
You know what I'm saying? You come on here, you make all the brothers jealous. They ain't got beards.
Right. My voice ain't that deep. I can't get
that. It's on you, Chris. It's on you, Chris. You got the last word.
Oh, Chris. I don't get yours,
Chris, what you got for me, family?
Mercy.
You good?
I all the time I always tell y'all I appreciate y'all. I always, the fact that y'all actually brought me in here. You know what I'm saying? It's something I was thinking on for the last 5 years, and now it's happening. So, love y'all, boys. You know what I'm saying?
Love you, man.
Love you, man.
Subscribe to the channel, good people,
you know
man. Mika, bless
you.
y'all. We're gonna do it a part 3, so don't worry about it. Stay tuned. We love you guys.
We gotta get
especially my wife. You know what I'm saying? I love the fact that she actually came on here. She's kind of like she's a person that this kind of thing she don't really care for, but every time she come on, it seemed like it's natural.
It's natural,
right? It's an atmosphere, the energy. So, hey, y'all. So we out of here. Sit tight, crew. And y'all, thank y'all for tuning in. God bless y'all. We'll see y'all on Tuesday. We're back on Tuesday and next Thursday. All right. God bless y'all. We love y'all. Sit tight, crew.